Once upon a time, the city of Detroit was a teeming metropolis of 1.8 million people and had the highest per capita income in the whole United States. There's around 80,000 abandoned homes in Detroit, and more than half of its adult residents don't have jobs. We were drawn to the city to film the visually striking decay, chasing, like so many other out-of-towners, what the locals disconcertingly call ruin porn. And we expected to find a city where the American dream was in tatters. We're in an abandoned courthouse, and all the records and all the deeds and arrest reports and all this weird shit is just strewn everywhere. Like they just left one day and left everything in here. Can you guys tell me about this neighbourhood? This is like a sort of famous or infamous neighbourhood, right?
Oh yeah, we're in the Wild Hundreds part of Chicago right now.
Yeah.
I know it's notorious, you know, for being rough, you know.
Yeah.
Low violent, but you know.
And so why is this spot chosen for this part of the video?
Chicago real gritty. We wanted to make sure we pick certain parts that'll bring out that feel.
And I'm like, man, I gotta, I'm cold. And after that, I just started getting serious.
So can you tell us about your neighbourhood where you grew up and what part that plays in your music, your inspiration and maybe your attitude as well?
I grew up on the low end of Chicago. It wasn't, it wasn't perfect, but, I went through it. Violence always been around, so just trying to get myself to do something positive. Like, I've been through stuff growing up, and it kind of like made me who I am, even though I got a pretty face and I look sweet. It's still like stuff I went through in the past, and it came up with me.
And you think that's an experience that is all throughout different kids in Chicago? Do you think this is a real Chicago thing?
Most definitely. Chicago, I love Chicago, but it's rough. Like, it's rough all around.
This looks actually quite a beautiful object. I like the metal and I like that coloration and stuff.
That's actually a butt plug.
Yeah, I thought so.
The plot thickens.
A lot of teenagers go through this cutting phase, or people who are going through depression. And what we find is most of the people who come into this house who have gone through that kind of phase have a really strong desire to be entered. Once they find a healthy outlet for that masochism and that energy, they don't feel a need to do it themselves anymore.
There's so much psychology involved in this.
There really is. I did major in psychology in college. I was a dance and psychology double major.
If you imagine all the drunken spectators at a football match actually running down onto the pitch and being able to play, that's the sort of level of colour and intensity that goes on in here.
So his partner just got arrested and thrown out, yet the game's continuing and he's still playing. Oh, we missed. No retribution.
So yeah, tell us when you started playing.
It was my buddy from home, Martin. For 1 year straight, we played pong every night. I want that big fake fucking check on my wall. Yeah.
People don't understand the problems with skate park cult leader.
I heard they steal people's keys and throw them out in the woods.
They'll burn your car. They'll beat you up. They'll make you skate.
Often kids try to rebel, and to rebel from their parents, they come to a place like this or do some of the things that are involved here. But you grew up here, this is normal for you. So what was it? Did you rebel?
Rebelled from this place. Yeah, definitely, many times. I've done my traveling. I kind of went to the professional side of skateboarding for a little bit and tried to experience that.
People are expected to behave in certain ways
yes.
to not, negatively impact other people. How does that work?
We individually here co-create the shared environment. And if the person continues to act out of line or continues to, be very harmful or immoral, towards other people that come here and try to be peaceful and live here or experience the place for what it is, then yes, we will make you leave,
Little clips I saw before I came here was like, it seems like senseless violence.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
You're speaking about it from a more philosophical standpoint.
Yeah, and that's the 10% that is projected over the web. The 90% is just individuals like myself and my father just trying to, live here and love and grow and expand.
The final person we visited on our tour of the Lumbee community was Ricky, a respected elder of the tribe who had experienced firsthand the struggles of being Native American.
We'd go to this restaurant, and the guy told us we couldn't go in. We had to go to the back door, and they'd hand us our food.
You equate that with, no blacks allowed, or an apartheid sort of thing, in South Africa.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty heavy.
And it was, because, you're a young man, young boy. You're working, you're doing what you've been taught. And you're saying, what's the difference in me? What have I done to you?
How did that affect you as an individual then? You obviously would have negative feelings and be angry about that.
I know I'm a Lumbee. I know I'm Native American. So why would I allow your words to hold me back?
Another ancient culture thrown into the gumbo pot of the USA is the much misunderstood and even feared belief system of voodoo. We travelled to New Orleans to find out the truth about this dark religion. At Voodoo Authentica, they sell items said to enhance the bearers' lives, from bringing health, wealth and love to dispatching enemies. We spoke to owner Brandy C. Kelly, who's become a voodoo practitioner over time, after hearing both good and bad things about it while growing up in New Orleans. What's the practical way of thinking about what voodoo is for people who don't know anything about it?
Voodoo is a religion.
If I had this in my house, this representation of a Chosi...
Speaking of which...
Oh, there we go. He might be the guy for me. Would I, if I woke up in the morning, I'd just come over to a Chosi and sort of connect with the Chosi and hope that would guide me through my day? Would that be the right way to sort of think about these spirits?
That would be a right way to think about the spirits.
I usually put it in my groin, so I hope that doesn't bother you.
How intense is this one?
I'll show you.
Oh, what? Oh, are you kidding?
Superpowers.
Oh, cool.
X-Men.
Can you go through me to someone else?
Yes.
You can do that? If
yes.
you hold my hand, we can...
So I hold your hand, and then I'm grounded to you.
Hold him. Hold pal.
I might have to turn it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
Suddenly everything explodes.
Traditionally, adult entertainment is dudes watching porn by themselves, but you're doing a new form, which is a sort of more intimate relationship between you and, your guests, your customers. Does anyone get obsessed with you?
I think everyone's kind of come across what I like to call a skin suit regular. Like they'd wear your skin as a suit. So, but the majority of people are normal people. I'm unfortunately still basically estranged from my mom and my sisters, but my dad and stepmom have been really supportive and wonderful. But yeah, I'm not welcome home at Christmas and things like that with my mom's side. So it's been really tough, but I'm the happiest I've ever been otherwise and focused, and I feel like this is where I'm meant to be in this industry. And so I'm just trying to tough it out and hope that someday she'll come around,
It seems like a high price to pay to follow something you personally believe in so much.
It is, but hopefully she can see that I'm truly happy, and it just stinks when someone puts conditions on their love for you. I think that's really tough.
We all agreed that Hamilton, being an authority figure and someone who's done a lot of stuff like this, would know if it's safe for me to participate in the ceremony, given the fact that I just, passed out in a restaurant. I expected some sort of fatherly or some sort of sage advice on it, and he basically laughed in my face. That did not help my paranoia whatsoever. Gonzo got up to leave in a dramatic fashion, but the reactions from the people who were involved to our negative feelings was basically nil. Like, they didn't respond at all. It was very, very strange. They didn't say, don't worry, it's going to be all right. They didn't look at us like a spiritual person you imagine would in a reassuring manner. They would just ignore, just fucking stared at us. For the first half of the ceremony, about a good 2 hours, I was extremely paranoid to the point of fear, deep fear. I could hear people moving in the background, and I just thought that the guns were coming out. They were going to kidnap us ISIS style, and it was going to be basically the biggest news story in the world. 4 Australian journalists get kidnapped by a fucking cult in the hills of Denver who want to spread their message with the world using whatever means possible. So I thought that was going to happen. This area isn't looked after by emergency services. Also, there's all this crazy drug cartel stuff. It's potentially dangerous here. So some people might say, why don't you just go somewhere safer?
Too old. Can't do this again. Too tired. And I'm not a runner. And the bad thing about it is the waiting. You don't know when it's going to happen. You know, you just know that the more time that's gone by, the closer it is. Because it's going to happen. Like I said, I ain't going to put up grenade screens.